Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Canada Immigrants. So finally, after a long wait, I decided to start this channel. As most of you know, I have a space on Quora which is called Canada Immigrants, and it has a growing followership of about 25,000 followers. I answer questions related to immigration. I share my own experiences post and pre-immigration, and it has been a very good journey so far. I've been able to help others by sharing my own knowledge and experience. I've been able to answer the queries of my followers, and when they thank me, it really makes me feel good that my journey has been of help to someone. So some of them had been requesting me to start a YouTube channel because I think you have that sense of familiarity and connection when you see a person on screen and when you can hear the person and you're able to relate more. So I thought, let me give this a try and start my own YouTube channel, which is based on immigration and life experiences in Canada. So here I am today with my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my immigration journey. So we had been living in Kuwait for the past 8.5 years. Life was very comfortable. You know, Kuwait is an oil rich country, and my husband's salary was really good. We had all the amenities, and we were living a very nice lifestyle. But the problem was that if you're at a high post and you're getting a good salary, chances are you also have to face a lot of stress at job because you have to manage so many things. And that's what was happening with my husband. So after a few years, that got us thinking that it would be really better if we could move to another country where the work life balance is really good, and also where there is a chance to experience the four seasons. In Kuwait, we have extreme summers followed by pleasant weather around October, November, and from December onwards it starts getting cold. So in January, February it's very cold, and then again the weather is pleasant for about 2 months, and from May again the temperature starts soaring and it goes as high as 50 degrees centigrade. So we didn't want our kids to experience that kind of climate throughout their lives. We are from India and we have grown up experiencing all the four seasons. So we thought, let's shift to a country where our boys can get a chance to be in the midst of nature, to experience all the four seasons, to have a good quality life, where they can have a good work life balance, and where we have rights as residents of the country. In Kuwait, you can stay for as long as your visa is valid, but once it expires, you have to go back. Now, I was on my husband's visa, which meant that if he resigned from his job or if he got fired, then we'll have to leave the country. We cannot own any property in the country. If we want to start a business in the country, then we need to have a Kuwaiti sponsor, a Kuwaiti partner, and irrespective of his contributions, you are supposed to pay some money to him, every month. So all those hurdles were there. So we always wanted to have our own business. That was not possible in Kuwait. We wanted to own a house. That was not possible in Kuwait. We wanted our boys to grow in the midst of nature. That was not possible in Kuwait. We wanted them to experience the four seasons and also to be in a society where everyone has equal rights. So that was not possible in Kuwait. Now, having said that, I do want to emphasize that Kuwait has given us a lot in terms of money. Uh, we earned a lot there. We made some great friends, met some great people. But, there comes a time in life when you feel that you need something more than just money, and that's when you start the soul searching, and that's what we did, and we came to the conclusion that Canada would be a good choice for us. So Basically, the onus of researching the entire thing wasn't me. I did my research, spoke to a few agencies, and we were almost about to pay money to a particular agency to start the immigration process. But a friend of mine who was already in Canada told me that I should try to immigrate on my own, because when he immigrated to Canada, it was mandatory to hire an agent to do so. But when I was trying to immigrate in 2017, it was not mandatory to have an agent. The government immigration website is user friendly if you know how to read. You can get all the information there. You can fill up the forms yourself and apply on your own. So that's what I thought, that let's give it a try on our own. If it doesn't work out, we can always hire an agent. But if it works out, we'll be saving a whole lot of money. So that's how the entire thing started. I visited the website, created my account, submitted the relevant information in November 2017. That was the last week of November. Then I was just waiting for my ITA, which means the invitation to apply. And after 3 days, I got my ITA. So I was pretty excited because it didn't take much time. And then obviously our hopes were high. We were excited. We uploaded all the relevant documents. We got our highest degrees attested by WES, which is the World Education Services. We got our police verification done. We got our medical done. When we immigrated, there was no need for biometrics, so we didn't do that. And everything was done and uploaded, and I submitted the final application in the month of February 2018. So after that, uh, we just waited, and there was no response. So I thought maybe they are taking some time to process the file. And then I think after about 8 months or so, I decided to write to them so that I should know about the status of my case. And moreover, it is also mentioned on the website that unless 6 months have passed by, you need not write to the immigration authorities, because anyway they are not going to answer your mail. So 8 months had gone by, and I decided to write to them, and that's when I came to know that my experience certificate was not accepted by them. Now the reason was that in India, in the experience certificate, usually the starting date and the end date of the job is stated, how good you were in the job, that's stated, and it's written that he or she bears a good moral character, and that's it. We wish her all the best for future endeavors, and that's the kind of experience certificate format we have in India. And for immigration, what was required was my salary details, my roles and responsibilities, because they want to see whether the roles and responsibilities mentioned in my experience certificate matches with the NOC under which I have applied or not. So I had told this to the principal of my government college where I used to teach as an assistant professor, but she refused to give me the experience certificate in that particular format, citing that that's the approved government format and she just cannot deviate from it. So I was in a limbo, because what she gave me was of no use to me, and the kind of experience certificate I wanted, she was not ready to give. Uh, so 1 year passed by. I had applied in November 2017, submitted my application in February 2019, and then came December 2019. So that's when I decided that instead of just waiting for a miracle to happen, I should file a case in the court and see to it that the principal gives me the desired experience certificate. And that's what I did. Now I filed the case in December 2018. Yes, December 2018. Yes. And sorry if I mixed up the dates earlier. Um, I filled the first application in November 2017 and got the IT after 3 days. Then in Feb 2018, I submitted the entire application, and in December 2018, I filed the case. So after that, again, we were waiting for a date when the hearing would take place, but somehow it got procrastinated. I never got the date in the court, and then I told my lawyer that it's just not working. Already 1 year has passed by. I am in 2019 and I'm not getting any dates, and the principal is not giving me the required experience certificate. Now, what should I do? So it was in November, December 2019 when she said that I'm going to file a writ petition on your behalf, and for sure the High Court will order the principal to release the experience certificate as per the format which is required for immigration. So that's what she did, and luckily I got my experience certificate in the prescribed format in December 2019. So it was a wait of 2 years to get my experience certificate. I uploaded it as soon as I got it, and then we waited for their response. Meanwhile, we also knew that our medical results have expired, and most likely we'll have to redo the medical. But still, we were hoping that maybe they would consider the previous medical report and give an exemption to us. Anyhow, I got a reply from IRCC saying that we should get the medical done. And then I wrote back to them asking whether my experience certificate has been accepted, because if it has been accepted, then obviously I can go ahead and get the medical done for myself and my family. If it has not been accepted, then there's no point in wasting money on medical for a second time. And frankly speaking, we had actually given up on the entire immigration thing, because the situation was not in our favor, and it was really mentally quite challenging for us to wait for the verdict of the High Court and for the experience certificate. And it was a quite a frustrating situation, having to wait for my experience certificate, which is my right, and the concerned authority is not giving it to me. So anyhow, I had a discussion with my husband, and he said that let's get the medical done. At the most, some money would be wasted, but if they are asking it to get us done, it is only logical to go ahead with it. So we got the medical done, and the medical results were directly sent to them. We got our copy, and after about a week, I got a mail in which I was asked to submit the passports for visa stamping. So we sent the passports, the visa was stamped, we got our COPR, which is the confirmation of permanent residence document. And so that's how, after a journey which lasted for 2 years, we got the required documents in our hand. So the first part of the battle was won, because Canada had granted PR to us. Now, the second part was traveling to Canada during the COVID 19 pandemic. And it was another challenge altogether, because everyone was telling us that many people have lost their jobs in Canada. There is a serious lack of jobs in Canada, and it was not the right time to immigrate to Canada. And I got a period of 1 year to move to Canada. I got my COPR in January 2020, and I had until January 2021 to travel to Canada. So we also did our own research, and it was quite obvious that many jobs were lost because of the pandemic. And in Kuwait, my husband was doing well, and where so many people were losing their jobs, by grace of God, he was still continuing to work, and we were living comfortably. So the choice was, should we leave the job? I was at home, I was not working, I had my own business, but the choice was for my husband: should he leave the job and a good salary and walk into the uncertain uh, future, or he should continue staying in Kuwait and wait for the situation to improve? Because we were hoping that maybe by the end of 2020 situation would improve and the vaccine would be out, and then probably the pandemic would be under control, and also by then Canada's economy would have recovered to an extent, and we would not have to struggle as hard for job as others were doing. So that was the thing. But then my husband is a risk taker, and he told me that if we have to go, then there is no point in delaying it. So let's just go for it, because anyway, unless you go into the water, you cannot get the pearl. So unless we land in Canada, we cannot hope to get a job. And if we have to uh, do some kind of course or some kind of bridging program, so probably 2020 was the best year because everybody was working from home, and even if we don't have a job, we can just sit at home and do some courses. So that's how we decided to go ahead. We booked our tickets to Canada. So it was Lufthansa Airlines, and we were supposed to have a stopover um, in Germany. And the flight was for Friday, the 13th of March. So the date itself was quite an unlucky one. So during that time, I disposed of most of the furniture in my house, most of my household appliances, and we had bare minimum furniture, and we were ready to move. And he was also thinking that, if the situation is really bad in Canada, then probably he's gonna come back and work for like 4 or 5 months in Kuwait, wind up things there, and then he's gonna join me. And meanwhile, I'll set up the house, and the kids will be enrolled in school, and like everything would be fine. So the D-Day came. It was Friday, the 13th of March. We were ready to travel. All our luggage was packed. And that same day, the government of Kuwait made an announcement that from 12 a.m. on the 13th of March, all flights would be suspended, and no flights would be going out from Kuwait. And we were in a limbo once again, because our flight was supposed to depart at 2 a.m. on the 14th of March. But obviously, the check in and all everything would have started, on the 13th of March itself. We were supposed to go to the airport at around 10 p.m. on 13th of March, and we were supposed to depart at 2 a.m. on the 14th of March. So we were hoping that, just because it's a difference of 2 hours, maybe, and the check-in and the boarding, everything would start much ahead of 12 a.m. So we should wait and see. And then we were constantly monitoring the status of the flight. It said that it was scheduled, and so we were quite hopeful that we'll be able to fly out of Kuwait. But at the end moment, the flight status changed and it showed cancelled. So, with all our luggage packed and the kids ready to fly to Canada, and like everything was suddenly stopped, and there was nothing we could do. So, I had to again, unpack all my stuff, and then we had to sit together again and work out the next travel plan. So we decided that now that the government of Kuwait has banned flights from entering or leaving Kuwait, let's just stay put in Kuwait for a few months and see how the situation is in Kuwait and in Canada, and then make the next traveling arrangements. So we stayed there for like a few more months, and we booked our second ticket in the first week of November 2020, and we were supposed to fly through London this time. And again, we were getting ready for our flight, and like all that packing and all started few weeks earlier. And then again, we got this news that um, UK has banned all flights from landing at the Heathrow airport because of the extreme COVID outbreak, and so our flight was cancelled. So now again, the second time our flight was cancelled, and we were like, what is happening? Uh, does the universe want us to go to Canada or not? Like, what should we do? Is it for our own good that twice we couldn't travel to Canada? And then we thought, okay, let's try again for a third time, because my COPR would have expired in January 2021. So anyway, we had to travel before January 2021. And if we didn't, who knows how long it would have taken to renew the COPR, maybe 1 year or more than 1 year. And we didn't want to take that kind of a risk. So we booked the ticket for a third time, and this time we flew with Turkish Airlines, and we had a stopover at Istanbul. And luckily, that worked out well, and the flight wasn't cancelled, and we reached Canada safely in the last week of November. So that's my story of how I immigrated to Canada with my family, and how I started the process, what challenges I had to face during the process of immigration, and what challenges we had to face while we were trying to travel to Canada during the pandemic. But in the end, everything worked out fine. So, in today's video, I'm only going to talk about this. In the upcoming videos, in the next few weeks, I'm going to talk about the different aspects, like how I got my job, what my husband is doing in Canada, how is the kids schooling here, what kind of a house we stay in, what's the rent, how are the people in Canada in general whom we have met so far. So I would be talking about the different aspects of our new life here. I hope you liked my video. If you have any questions, you can comment in the comment section below, and I would answer them. If you want to immigrate to Canada, you can follow me on my space on Quora, which is called Canada Immigrants. I have actually two spaces. One is in Hindi. It's called Canada Immigrants, and it's exclusively catered to people from India who speak Hindi. And the other one is obviously my space, Canada Immigrants, where I answer questions in English. So I hope to see you on my Quora space, and I also hope you would like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for listening to me. Until next time, bye bye.